Generation fighters take the stand. From shore to shore we reclaim the land. Grit and glory in every strand. In Jersey shore we make our stand.
All right. Hey, and before we get started, I just realized, am I the only like non-Jewish person in the podcast? We got you, we got Alexandra, we got Seth Eisenberg. I just realized that.
It's a cabal, actually.
That's what they say. That's what they say. I heard that.
Only the good parts, though. Only the good parts. Only the good ones. Listen, but we're letting you exist, okay? That's proof that we're good.
Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Well,
so what we got going on?
What do we have going on? Okay, talking about out with the old and in with the new. The old word was RINO, R-I-N-O, no H in there. The H, it doesn't exist. Republican in name only. Here's the problem. The RINOs are onto that name, and they really get upset because they say, if you don't agree with us, you know, that's a RINO. We're not RINOs. They're not RINOs, okay? A Republican name only, what does that really mean? They're part of the Uni-Party Establishment. And the establishment was made far before our time, 40, 50, 80 years ago, especially here in New Jersey. I'd say put closer to 40, 50 years. Backroom deals started. You know, the Democrats, the Republicans, they get together and they say, hey, guys, how can we really keep our control and keep our leverage and keep the money flowing to all these programs and all of our entities that we own? And how they do that is they control the candidates that get onto the ballot. Well, what happened with me personally is I got invited to join this county committee thing. I really only knew about it because I read a book by Dan Schultz, because, you know, I'm a huge Steve Bannon, follower. You know, you're either Forrest or Guinness, break out your number 2 pencil. I told you yesterday, these are the words he uses, and it's great. But what I learned is this guy, Dan Schultz, is saying that, like, there's like, I don't know, 70% of the seats on these committees across the country are empty, right? So if you get some conservatives, some MAGA people on there, then you could start turning the tide in your communities, start on the municipal committee, then you're controlling the county committee, and then you have a seat at the table. So I got a seat at the table because I was fighting the school boards. This guy, Tom Crone, okay, he's basically a puppet for other people, like Joe Condo, Don Purdy, several others, Sean Golden, Carlos Santos, pretty much all the people that are backing Jack Ciattarelli for governor. Am I bashing Jack Ciattarelli for governor? Only if you want to back a third-time loser. Okay, I'm not bashing him, but truthfully, he lost in 2017. Okay, he voted yes on a bill to allow minors actually, to change their gender on their birth certificate, so that what the birth certificate is going to be used for is what laid the groundwork for what happens today in schools. Okay, he voted yes on that as a Republican in the state assembly in 2015. That's a fact, Jack. Okay. And these people, they made this deal that no matter which party gets elected, even in the rare event that a Republican gets elected, guess what? They're still going to control and stack the chips against the people. And that's what's been happening for a long time. Look at the candidates that we've had that won as Republicans. And I'm talking about the governor race, because that's the race that we're in right now on June 5th. That's when the primary starts. And what's going to happen is they're determining who's going to be on that ballot. We've got other people running in the primary. Me personally, I'm backing Bill Spadea, okay, against Jack Ciattarelli. Okay, I'm going to get to the reason why. I mean, number one, he's a Marine. Number two, he's got 10 years of talking and listening to New Jersey issues. Somewhere about 1 to 1.5 million people, a third Republican, a third Democrats, and a third unaffiliated. So he has a far broader reach than Jack Ciattarelli or any of the other guys running. And sorry, Ed the trucker, including yourself. Okay, my advice to the other candidates besides Ed and Bill would be, if you want to see the inside of the governor's mansion, you should ask Bill for a visitor's pass. I'm sure he'll give it to you. But really what you need to do is find a way to work within his administration, because that's who we need to get propped up, in my opinion, based on what I know. But what's Joe Condo say? He says he plays around in all the counties down here. What do you mean play around? It doesn't make sense to me. And things stopped making sense when I went to the first reorg meeting in 2022 after Tom Crone invited me to come in. And he says, when I get there, all right, now, we're voting for who's going to be the chairman this year, and I'm expecting you to vote for me and your 4 friends that I just appointed to this committee. And I said, Tom, but I know this other woman that's running against you, Nicole Nance, who I love, admire, respect. She is a great woman. And she's been supportive of me and so have her friends at all my school board endeavors, and you haven't done jack shit. Sorry for the cursing. And What happened is he's expecting. He said, "Well, I heard you're in the Nicole Nance team, Team Nicole." I said, "I'm not on any team. I'm on the team of who's here supporting my fight, and I'm out here doing this on my own, spending a ton of money, dropping in on lawyers, doing whatever I got to do, and you've done absolutely nothing." So I start realizing that I've got a seat at the table, but we're talking about a picnic table, with broken chairs and no stools and nothing to eat. They don't have a table. Their table was set to lose. They don't want to win. That's why we don't ever have candidates. So they asked me, "Eric, can you be a candidate in your town?" Sure, I'll put my name on the ballot. I didn't even get a phone call from them, from the GOP. Okay, and these other people that I'm mentioning to you, Joe Condo, he's not elected. He moved out of Camden County and he lives in Atlanta County, where Don Purdy is the county chair. All these county chairs are just having their nomination conventions right now for governor and legislative districts, but they publicly announce who they're endorsing months or weeks before. And then they bring you to this false farce of a convention, and then they put out newscasts that this is who the GOP is backing. And a lot of them are Jack Ciattarelli, because Bill and Ed and all the other candidates said, "We're not participating in that," because they got rid of the county line. And as you know, the county line was you vote for the guy at the top and you just go straight down the Republican line. And then there'd be another guy, Damon, over here, and Eric would be over here on this side of the primary ballot. Next thing you know, only their candidates are getting onto the general election. And then they lose. Look at Curtis Bashaw. That's the perfect example. Curtis was a GOP pick. Okay, Trump endorsed Christina. Okay, and it was a late endorsement. I was upset with Trump. I don't agree with every single thing Trump does, and I think he's made some bad
90-10,
right, 90-10. But we got jammed on the 10. We could, because now we've got two senators that vote no for Lake and Riley and vote yes for trans and boys and women's sports. That's what we're living with in New Jersey, and there's one reason. I'm not calling them RINOs anymore. I know you like that term, and we had a party for people when the RINOs were getting kicked out.
I saw the video.
Right, but I'm calling it Uni-Party Establishment, because they've established a Uni-Party in New Jersey, and it's not just New Jersey. It happens elsewhere. Redder the state, sometimes there's even bigger pockets of this in Florida, in Texas, that we're talking about. Austin is a liberal hellhole, and that's in the red state of Texas, right? So again, Joe Condo, Don Purdy, Mike Testa. Okay, Mike is feeding money to these other candidates, and he is an elected official and the GOP chair. He's a state senator in Cumberland County, and the money goes from Jack to him to these other places. Camden County said no, because we elected one hell of a chairwoman. Her name is Kimberly Stewart, and she's not playing ball with them, and they come at her. But guess what? When they do, I go with them. I go with them in public. I go with them in Facebook. I'll go call them and meet up with them anytime, anywhere to discuss. Okay, mano a mano, whatever it's called, face to face. Let's talk about it, because things aren't making sense. I went and met with Ed the trucker the other day. I said, make sense of this. I'm looking at the statistics. And someone says to me, "Where's the math on the statistics today on Facebook?" This guy, DiAugustino from North Jersey. I said, "Here's the math. Here, these grayed out ones that I'm looking on my page here. These are all the counties in the state that none of these smaller candidates that are not serious, they don't have a shot at winning. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 counties out of 21 that aren't accounted for. So how's another candidate going to win? And how are they going to prop up Jack Ciattarelli? That's not what the people really want. It's what they want, so they can maintain control. And keep in mind, the money fundraising, you can only use those funds during the primary. It's been raised so far. You can't have that carry over to the general. So they're going to blow all their dough and all this money to try and get Jack through the primary. But here's the thing. We've already lived through all this. We lived through it in 2021, coming out of the worst draconian lockdowns with Murphy run the show. Okay. He wouldn't talk about parents' rights. I'm talking about Jack Ciattarelli. He wouldn't talk about parents' rights. He wouldn't talk about mask mandates. He wouldn't talk about the jab. And those are the things that are important to New Jerseyans, right? That's the difference between here and Virginia, where Youngkin won. And the feds, they put money into that race because they knew that Youngkin had a chance to win. And with Jack being so weak, he's a moderate. If you look up the definition of moderate, it means basically weak, below average, or average. And I'm not trying to insult people that consider themselves moderate. You just have to realize the party has shifted. Okay, the red has come, it's going to the left, right? And the left has gone way out there. So that gap has gotten so wide that people that have stayed authentic, which we were talking about, I stay authentic. Like me, or love to hate me, that's who I am. I act the same way all the time. these people have flip-flopped, okay? And the people that are considered moderates in the Republican Party, they just don't realize one thing. MAGA is the Republican Party. And MAGA means Make America Great. To me, it means America first. And it means New Jersey first. It doesn't mean special interest first. We've already lived through that because we don't win under that agenda. We're losing. And why would people continue to live in a state where it's not as free as the states next door? I mean, I'd rather live in Pennsylvania right now. I wouldn't be thrilled to move to Delaware, although I wouldn't mind saving some taxes. But to me, I already know I live in one of the highest tax states in the country. But this is where my family is. So no, I'm not taking my ball and going home. I'm not talking about packing it up, but like the incentive to stay, it's not, I mean, I'm not looking to save money on taxes. It's the same thing that Trump says about the education department. And look at our education department. It's horrific what goes on in New Jersey schools. And they say we're the number 7 state, number 3 state, but we're, as a country, we're the bottom of all 40 countries that are measured. So what are we, the top of the heap, of the bottom of the heap?
Well, we spend the most money, but we're at the bottom.
But listen, Trump will say it, and I'll say it too. We're not looking to spend less money. Let's spend the saved money, and let's get our money's worth.
Yeah.
And I say that about taxes too. I'm okay. I've already built, we're already conditioned to pay more taxes, just like everything else we're talking about with conditioning. I'm okay with the taxes here. I'll keep paying them, but I want my money's worth. I want to enjoy the freedoms. I don't have to worry about not being able to carry or own a gun, or how much bullets are going to cost, or the price of food, or the fact that there's a gas tax that makes it unaffordable to go pick up your
How
kids.
about an exit tax?
An exit tax, that's preposterous, okay?
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a tax. When you
always say
this is a Republican thing, though. So really, people expect the Republican candidate is going to reduce taxes. So yeah, you can expect that out of Jack Ciattarelli. And if he wins the primary, I'll have to coalesce and go along with the flow. But the problem is, yeah, I'm going to stick a sign in my lawn. I don't know, maybe. I'm certainly not wearing a Ciattarelli shirt like I'm walking around with a Trump shirt. I can tell you that. And he's been campaigning as long as Trump. So what's that tell you? It's a history of losses. Let's change. The way to effectuate change, the way to have success, the way to have unity. These things all work together. What does Trump say about success? About unity. You'll have unity when you have success. So putting up another 2-time loser, that spells Uni-Party to me. You want to talk about all roads lead to communism? In New Jersey politics, 100%, all roads lead to Uni-Party establishment. And the more people and the more voters that know it, when the GOP is putting up their endorsed candidates, you really need to look elsewhere until further notice. And believe me, I'm loud enough. I will let you know when that happens. And that's what I want to share with you about the GOP. And again, I just want to mention the names one more time: Joe Condo, Don Purdy, Mike Testa, Sean Golden, Carlos Santos. Okay, these are the people that should be held to account if and when things go south and we don't win this election in November, which is what really counts. Thanks, guys. I know I talk a lot.
No, fine. No, he's going to sleep good tonight.
Yeah, he just got all that rage up.
I'm going to look for what I'm going to talk
me
about.
and Damon, man, we got some ideas about taxes now.
Yeah.
And we ain't gonna get into it.
Not yet, but yeah.
We ain't gonna get into it, but we got some ideas now.
All right, good. Well, listen, let's take some of that savings and let's donate it to our candidates, okay?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm asking. Go find Bill Spadea's website, right? Spadea for governor. Okay, make a donation to him. That's what we need. He based his whole campaign on small dollar donations. When larger corporations, PACs, and big business donates to candidates, that is your telltale sign. Okay, and speaking of Ed the trucker, you can't even look up his financials because he hasn't filed them yet, because he has one of the biggest, I hate to say the word, we call it biggest loser or whatever. Steve Cush is running his campaign. Okay, I went to have a one-on-one with
Claire too. Is that true?
I happen to like and respect Claire. She's always been kind, courteous to me, and she prays for me, and I pray for her family. Okay.
That's fair.
But is she, do I agree with Ed? No, but but that's the thing. We're not making it personal, right? Business-wise, I will tell you this though. When I went to go meet with them, and I have a meeting with 2 people, I don't like a third person showing up. So I said, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm here to pick something up. It was a check. So he's got Ed convinced that he's going to win, so he can keep the money train going for his measly couple grand he's probably getting. That to me is a bad sign for Ed. Truthfully, Ed, and I had a little bit of an issue because when I was trying to take out Tom Crone, he did make a couple phone calls. He said to one of the guys in Camden County, just to get an idea of what the votes look like with Tom Crone. But I have another very close friend of mine that he made a phone call to. And when I met with him the other day, he said he only asked him the same thing. But guess what? He didn't. He asked him to make a phone call for him. And that other friend of mine, guess what? He's not in Camden County, so he wouldn't have known the vote. So to me, after thinking about it, to me, he actually seems like a pregnant stripper. I'm going to be honest with you. He's scorned, and he's looking for any excuse to keep running. I'm sorry to say that. I know that I know people are willing to hear what you have to say, but my advice to him and to the other people running Cranjack, who's Mike Crispy's little guy from North Jersey, Mike Crispy, you should be ashamed of yourself. I donated to your PAC, and you've taken that money and used it against us. Okay, and like Steve Bannon says, you're either for us or against us. And if you don't like being called out in public, then stop doing unpopular things because we're coming for you in a political way.
Don't be jealous.
Yeah.
Don't be jealous.
That's why I want to call this segment Eric Unleashed. but yeah,
Thank you for letting me speak.
I should have ran the disclaimer like it did do it. We want the opinions and views.
Listen, we heard a lot.
Are not-
We heard a lot. We're waiting for
Jack.
Jack.
Not responsible to the Jersey Shore.
No, and listen, you're not, but listen, I'm here as a guest, and I don't mean to offend anybody that's watching. I really don't.
No, it's
At
fine.
the end of the
Hey,
day, I'm going to coalesce around whoever wins the primary.
Listen, call
But in
people
between
out.
now and between now and
Listen,
then,
Jack, if
I'm
Jack
here.
watches it. Jack,
He's
I-
got to
I-
come on
I
now.
want you to come on. I want you to tell listeners why you're a better candidate. I want every person that's running for governor why you're better. Ed came on.
That's
And
right.
then-
We're looking to be the
so
spark that
we-
ignites the flame to make
Exactly.
people do something.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
Get the word out
We need
there.
to
Talk
inspire
talk-
people, brother. That's it.
That's
Talk to
it.
people.
And that's what I'm
Our
inspiring. What we
listeners,
talked about
our
yesterday.
listeners want to know who is the better candidate.
And what
And-
can I do to help? Okay.
Yep.
Go to the campaign websites. Go see the candidates speak at a town hall event. They're all over the state. Go to SpadeaForGovernor.com. Jack, he's got a website too, but it's mostly to bash Spadea. I forget what it's called. He talked about it.
BS. I
He
just
talked
heard
about-
something BS.
Oh,
Tony-
something
Tony-
BS. Right.
Tony-
For a
Tony
guy
Bill.
that wanted to ban cursing, he takes Bill Spadea's initials, which are BS, okay, and makes it like a parody type of commercial about it. But he wanted to ban swearing. You all saw that one.
I saw it.
So I mean, that to me is a flip flop, And listen, where does Jack like to go? He likes to go where he's comfortable. He goes and does the diner thing, right? People are kind of a captive audience there. You're sitting there eating your fork full of food. Next thing you know, you got a political candidate for governor come up to you. Okay, he goes on a train that went from here to Atlantic City, and there's all these people on a train, which women got accosted on the last time that train ran. Okay, I mean, what's next? You're going to go to women's prisons where people are literally captive and they can't get out of their cell. They're going to have to listen to you, and then he wants to give illegals driver's licenses. That was a platform of his when he ran the last time. And when you know what happens when you give an illegal driver's license, what are they doing next? Besides collecting all the money that we pay in taxes, they're
Yeah.
voting.
Mhm.
Okay, no bueno.
Well, there you go. Eric Unleashed.
Those are my
right
opinions, and I'm sticking with them.
there.
May the best man win,
So
or
again,
woman.
want everyone on the show. Everyone on the show, comment and you tell the viewers why you're the better candidate. That's what
That's
it's
it.
all about. Everyone has a shot. We don't need a Uni-Party. We don't, like Eric talked about before, like picking special candidates. I want the candidates to come on and speak to the people.
Sell yourself. Come on.
And I'll also promise you that when whoever is the victor in the Republican Party, I will not sit. I will stand and applaud.
There you go. I always said that when I ran. Like I said to Claire, to Teddy, I said, listen, whoever wins this primary, I said, I'm going to be there to support you 100% behind you. That's what it's about.
Unity.
Yeah.
Unity. It's supposed to be that way.
I mean, I know the one debate that they had before, it was embarrassing.
It was
I mean,
very crispy-esque.
yeah, it was.
Well, the
it's-
opening statement started out with Jack going on a tirade about Bill. I wanted to hear what Jack was going to do.
Yeah,
Instead of Jack hammering up on Bill, that was ridiculous and an embarrassment. And P.S. After you go to Bill Spadea for governor, SpadeaForGovernor.com, you can find me real easy. Okay, Facebook, Eric Simkin, EricSimkin, real simple to find. Go take a look. I put a lot of videos and content up, just like Damon does, and he's doing a tremendous job. Pete does the same thing. So make sure you're checking us out there.
I'm
too,
gonna
Eric.
link up with you there, Eric. Yeah, I gotta get up with you.
yeah. So Bill, if you're watching, I think you got throw some campaign funds at Eric. He just sold you pretty good.
That's what I heard.
I have no
And you gotta
interest.
come on
I have
too,
no interest but the public interest.
Yeah.
I don't work for a campaign, and all my opinions are my own.
No,
And I'm
so-
certainly going to do this disclaimer for the Jersey Shore podcast.
Yeah. So, all right, fellas. So it was a pretty good show, man. I knew it was going to be.
Yeah, we had some
Yeah.
fun.
Good
Listen,
stuff to talk
God
about.
bless you, God bless your families, and God bless the United States of America.
That's right. Well, we're going to roll into the JSP Awards and the Loser of the Week Award.
Generation fighters take the stand. From shore to shore, we reclaim the land. Grit and glory in every strand. In Jersey Shore, we make our stand.
All right, so this one's going to be pretty simple. I usually pick somebody either local or national, but I pick a person. But this is an easy one. I got to give Trump the Jersey Shore Patriot Award after that address that he gave. I mean, that was great because after this segment, it's going to be a minute or so, and we're just going to play the end of the speech. We'll be off air, and how he ended his speech, it was great. I mean, I got to give it to him. It was good. And the loser of the week, I can't even pick a person. I got to pick just the Democrats.
Democrats are lost, and they know it too. I mean, when you watch when you watch some of the people that are a little bit more sane than the ones that we're talking about that were sitting. By the way, there was one congresswoman that I saw did stand up.
One stood up.
I mean, which really I can understand that takes a lot.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it shouldn't have to take anything, but it does take a lot. But I'll agree, and they've been lost for a long time. And the Democrat Party, they didn't leave you. I mean, you didn't.
I didn't leave them.
They left you, right?
Yeah,
and they left
correct.
you to all the viewers out here. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So everybody, thank you again. Thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in. Our new schedule is Monday nights and Friday nights, 8 p.m. for the podcast. Make sure you check out Alexander Levine live as well. And when it's